Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello my students and welcome to English for Iraq. This is me, your English teacher Ahmad Qasham, and last lesson we started with Unit 7. Unit 7 is about the world around us. My dear students, today we will be with lesson 2 in Unit 7. And in this lesson, we will learn how to help people around the world. My dear students, the first thing I start in this lesson to learn the grammar. What do we have today? Modals. Let me remind you with some of these modals in English. We have can, could, shall, should, have to, has to, had to. So we have some modals for the past and some for the present. What do we have for today? We have to differentiate, to learn the difference between must and should. First of all, must means in Arabic ينبغي. It's used when I'm talking about something necessary. In Arabic ضروري, necessary, ضروري. So must ينبغي. Now what about should? Should is used when I'm talking about or when I'm giving a piece of advice to somebody. So should means عليك. It's used for giving a piece of advice. Advice in Arabic نصيحة. This is the difference. So which one is stronger? Of course it's must. So must is stronger than should. And now, what about the negative? We have should, and the negative is shouldn't. What about some examples? Now, you should help your parents at home. You should. I'm giving you a piece of advice to be helpful at home with your parents. Now, an example with shouldn't. You shouldn't waste your time because you are a student. I'm trying here to advise you not to waste your time, to study. Yes, not to sit at home doing nothing. What about must? How can I make it negative? I can make it negative like this. Mustn't. Mustn't. And be careful here. We don't pronounce the T. Mustn't. Now, let's take an example. You must stay at home. You must stay at home. Coronavirus is everywhere. So, what do we have here? We have something necessary. ضروري. So, it's necessary to stay at home because it's dangerous to go out at this time. Let's take another example using mustn't. You mustn't eat expired food because it is dangerous for your health. So, expired food, old food. Now, you mustn't eat expired food because it is dangerous for your health. Here, I'm trying to warn you because it is necessary to avoid this type of food. My dear students, let me here remind you of one of the most important and the most common modals in English. We have already learned this. It's will. Now, we learned that will is used to talk about the future, something we are not sure about in the future, to talk about expectations, predictions about the weather, for example. But here, I want to talk about something different. We can use will for something different. Let me first remind you with the negative form of will, it's won't. I say I will help, I won't do that again. Now, what's new about will? It's this. We use will to talk about offers. Offers, this is in Arabic تقديم العرض والمساعدة. Now, let's take some examples to make it clearer. Now, we have this example. I'll help you with your maths homework. I'm giving an offer to help. I'll help. Another example. We'll help the poor. سنساعد الفقراء. The last example here. I'll make you a cup of tea. This is when your friend, one of your relatives, come to visit you. So you offer him something to drink or to eat. And now, my students, before we start in the book, I want you to learn these vocabularies. Not all of them are new, but I repeated some because they are very important to understand some passages in this lesson. I'm going to read them in English, and here I wrote, as you see, the translation in Arabic. Country, pay, parents, education, this is very important, for a year, collect money, bring and buy, sale. This is the most important because we are going to have more than one conversation about this, bring and buy, sale. And here the translation in Arabic, معرض خاص لجمع التبرعات. Sell, sold, headmistress, plants, school playground, seat belt. So, seat belt, حزام الأمان. This is very important. Seat belt. Take off and land. Now, land is a noun, but here we will take it as a verb when we are talking about the plane. The plane takes off and lands. And now, my students, we come to the book, to your student book on page 69. And be careful that we have different copies, more than one copy of the book. Anyway, it's clear, my students, from the title and from the shape of the page. Now we have here, how can we help? We have here some girls. They will make more than one conversation talking about how they can help people. We will listen to these conversations and to answer some questions about what they discussed. First, we have here one of the girls. Her name is Sarah. Sarah was very upset when she read this article. Read it and find out why. So, my students, Sarah got upset when she read this article. This article is taken from a newspaper. She was reading a newspaper and she read this article. After reading, she got upset. Why? We want to read and find out why she got upset. Send a child to school for $100. This is what? This is the headline. Now, in many African countries, people have to pay to go to school. So, to go to school, it's not free. You have to pay money. Unfortunately means in Arabic لسوء الحظ. Many parents are too poor to do this. Now, poor means فقير. So many parents are poor. So their children must go without education. They can't go to school. They can't receive education. Education means تعليم or تربية in Arabic. This is very bad for their future and for the future of Africa. Did you know that just $100 will pay for one African child to go to school for a year? Now we have finished this article, and we can answer the question that why did Sarah get upset when she read this article? Because what? She learned, or we can say Sarah got upset because she learned that some parents can't send their children to school because they are poor. Let's now move to listen to their conversation about this. Now, my students, we should listen carefully, but let me explain something before we start listening, and I'll explain it in Arabic. أعزائي الطلاب، سوف نقوم بالاستماع إلى مقطع محادثة بين هذه الفتيات يتحدثن عن معرض يخططن لإقامته لجمع تبرعات. يدعى هذا المعرض in English bring and buy sale. يعني كل شخص bring يعني يحضر and buy يشتري. إذن كل شخص يقوم بإحضار شيء من بيته ويقوم ببيعه، وبنفس الوقت يقوم بشراء شيء. كل ما يجمع من هذا المعرض يتم جمعه لمساعدة الأطفال الفقراء الذين لا يستطيعون الذهاب للمدرسة في إفريقيا. قمت بالشرح باللغة العربية من أجل أن يكون المحادثة واضحة بالنسبة لكم. والآن نريد أن نستمع بإصغاء بالإضافة إلى حفظ المفردات التي كتبتها مترجمة إلى اللغة العربية. أتمنى من الطلاب أن يحفظوا المفردات، لأن حفظ المفردات سيساعدهم على فهم كل ما سيرد بالمحادثة.
Unit 7, Lesson 2, Track 43. Listen and read.
We should do something.
No, we must do something. But what?
We must collect money to send some children to school.
I know. Let's have a bring and buy sale.
What's that?
Everyone brings something to be sold and everyone buys something.
That's a great idea. We can advertise it in the school magazine.
Wonderful. I have some CDs. I'll bring those.
I can help. I'll bring some plants. I grow them in our garden.
And I have lots of clothes.
I'll bake some cakes.
Wait. Where are we going to have this sale?
In the school playground, I hope. Let's go and ask the headmistress.
Good idea.
Now, go to the activity book, my students, to page 95. On this page, we have exercise B. Complete these sentences with should or must. Let me remind you again, we use should when we are talking about or when we have a piece of advice. نصيحة, advice, نصيحة. Now, when we have something necessary, we are talking about something necessary, we use must. So, necessary, ضروري. So, we use must. So, must is stronger than should. Number 1, we should or must do our homework. What do you think here? To do your homework, is it necessary or not? Of course, it's necessary. Why? Because if you don't do your homework, you will be punished by your teacher. So, we must do our homework. Number 2, we should or must eat 5 pieces of fruit or vegetables every day. What do you think here? Now, if you don't eat 5 pieces of fruit or vegetables for some days. Is it a big problem? No. The most important is to eat a lot of fruit or vegetables. So this is more to be a piece of advice. So we write we should eat 5 pieces of fruit or vegetables every day. Number 3. People must or should do what they say they are going to do. Why? Because if you said something that you are going to do something, for example, I say, I'll help you with your maths homework. Then I don't help you. I will be a liar. Yes? So liar in Arabic means كاذب. So it's what? Here, not to be a liar. You should. People should do what they say they are going to do. Now, this is a piece of advice. Number 4. You must or should wear a seat belt on a plane when it is taking off and landing. Do you think that when you are on the plane, is it necessary or not to wear your seat belt? حزام الأمان. Is it necessary or not? Of course, it's necessary. If you don't wear your seat belt, you will be in danger. So this is necessary. Must. You must wear. Number 5. You take a test before you can drive a car. To drive a car, you will have first what? A driving license. So the driving license, you must take a test. It's necessary to take a test. You will never be given a driving license without having this test. My students, on the next page, 96, we have exercise C. Listen and write notes. So we will listen to a conversation between 3 girls, and then we should answer these questions about what they discussed. Now, number 1, what are the 3 girls going to bring to the bring and buy sale? I explained this. Bring and buy sale. This is in Arabic معرض لجمع التبرعات. Bring يحضر and buy يشتري. Now we have 3 girls, Suhad, Wisal and Widad. Number 2, when are they going to hold the sale? To hold the sale, متى سيقمن المعرض? So first let's listen and then we come back to answer these questions. Now my students, we will move to listen carefully. And before we listen, I should explain something in Arabic. أعزائي الطلاب، هلا راح نستمع لمقطع. بهذا المقطع الفتيات راح يتناقشوا إنه كل فتاة شو راح تجيب لهذا المعرض. Bring and buy. فبدنا نستمع وبعد ذلك نرجع نجاوب على الأسئلة إنه كل بنت من هدول البنات شو راح تجيب لهذا المعرض. بالإضافة المقطع اللي راح نستمعه هو موجود مثل ما بتعرفوا بكتاب الطالب الستودنت بوك. أنا بالنسبة لي موجود في الصفحة 101. بتعرفوا في أكثر من نسخة، فيا ريت نراجع النسخ، لكن هو موجود بآخر كتاب الستودنت بوك.
Track 45. What are the 3 girls going to bring to the bring and buy sale? Listen and write notes. Part 1.
Hello, Sarah. I hear there's going to be a bring and buy sale.
Yes, that's right.
Well, I'll bring a camera.
A camera? Isn't that a bit...
It's all right. I've just got a new one. But the old one still works.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Suhad.
When's the sale?
On Monday at 4 o'clock.
Fine. See you then.
Part 2.
Hi, Sarah. I heard about the bring and buy sale. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you, Wissal.
I'd like to help. I've got lots of books. I'll bring the ones I've read.
That's wonderful. People always buy books.
When do you want them?
Oh, just before the sale, please.
When is it?
On Monday at 4 o'clock.
All right. I'll bring them at 4:45.
Fine. Thanks very much.
Part 3.
Hello, Sarah. I hear you need some things for the bring and buy sale.
Yes, we do, Widad.
Well, I think I can help.
Oh, good.
I have a lovely doll, but I don't play with it anymore.
A doll would be lovely. There's sure to be a child who'll want it.
That's what I thought. Shall I take it to your house?
No, thanks. Just bring it to the playground, please. At about 4:45.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye, Widad.
My dear students, now we come to answer the questions about the conversation between these girls. Now, number 1. What are the 3 girls going to bring to the bring and buy sale? We have Suhaid. She is going to bring what? A camera. Wisal is going to bring some books. What about Widad? She is going to bring a doll. Number 2. When are they going to hold the sale? Hold means يقيم. يقيم المعرض. Hold the sale. So they are going to hold the sale at 4 o'clock on Monday. Now, my dear students, in your activity book, page 97, we have exercise A, writing. You went to a bring and buy sale. Write a short letter. So we are going to write a letter to a friend telling him or her all about it. So my dear students, we have homework to write a letter. A letter about what? About this bring and buy sale. We should suppose ourselves went to this sale and we want to write a letter to another friend telling him about everything we watched, we saw in this sale. أعزائي الطلاب، هون في عنا نحن وظيفة اللي هي إنه نكتب رسالة. بدنا نقول لأصدقائنا، لهذا الصديق اللي بده يكتب له رسالة إنه أنا شو شفت بهذا المعرض. طبعا أنا هون مزوديني ببعض النقاط راح اشرحهم إن شاء الله. Don't forget to say، يعني لا تنسى تقول بتعبيرك أو بالشيء اللي راح تكتبه what the sale was for، مشان شو هو هدف هذا المعرض. sale طبعا هي بتجي بمعنى هون المعرض لبيع أشياء لجمع التبرعات. How many people were there؟ ايش قد كان في ناس هنيك. What you and your friend brought for the sale، انت ورفيقك شو جبتوا من بيتكم مشان تتبرعوا فيه وتحطوه بهذا المعرض لينباع، كتب أو ما شابه. What you bought، انت شو اشتريت. يعني انت بنفس الوقت جبت شيء بس كمان اشتريت شيء آخر، كله مشان تساهم برفع رصيد هذا المعرض. How much money the sale brought in، وبنهاية المعرض السيل شقد انجمع مبلغ. هل انجمع مبلغ اللي كان مخطط انه ينجمع مشان تقديم المساعدات للأطفال أو ما شابه حسب هدف المعرض. My dear students, thank you very much for being patient with me. See you next time. Have a nice day.